Hi students, I'm here with Liesl Chatman. And at the museum, every time I talk about teaching art and science, people are like, you have to meet Liesl, you have to see her visual journals. I got to see them once and was just stunned and taken away by the just raw beauty of them. And so it's a great way of explaining art, science, observation, life, and I'd love to see some of your work, but also just talk to you about how you've come about, how you started doing this. Is it daily? Is it, how did you make the practice of this?
It's episodic for me. It's not a daily practice, but there have been times in my life when it was daily. Most of those times were when I was in junior high or high school or college. And so I've been a graphic journaler since I was in about 5th grade.
Oh, nice.
And I have this.
And I'll take pictures, guys.
Yeah,
if we're...
This first one right here. Which is
oh my goodness,
a book of things by Liesl, and this is dated December 20th, 1971.
Oh, at the time too.
11:30 p.m. Yes.
When the best thoughts always occur.
Yeah, so it just has
oh
silly,
my gosh,
silly, silly cartoons
fantastic.
in it and stuff. And then this one also has, when I started writing poetry in it.
The guy's handwriting is gorgeous.
Yeah, I'm not quite.
Well, I can't read mine, so.
And I was just wondering, also this curious thing of when my handwriting changes, and I was very excited. This is a change in handwriting that happened, let's see if this is dated.
Was there a major change in your life that occurred at that time?
That's what I was trying to wonder. Around 1973, yes, there was a major change in my life. I had never even, this is an interesting question that we just asked. I never put it together. The change in my life was that this was when my mother had her first mental breakdown.
Oh no.
And my handwriting completely
totally
changed.
expresses that.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Well.
Yeah. I never even knew that.
Jeez. That's heavy. Yeah, but it's true. Actually, I know a lot of students that can tell the different moods and stuff. I know when I meet different people, back when we used to pass notes, like real notes instead of text, people would like change the and do a plus sign, and I would pick those things up, and I picked up a lot of little graphic styles and stuff.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
I've definitely something to keep in mind, guys.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah. So then I also kept regular diaries and stuff like that, but in high school they began to get more graphic elements in them, and then I started keeping communal journals, and I have one of those here. This is the first one, which was...
Oh my gosh, I haven't seen that kind of cover in it.
Yeah,
right
there.
My God.
This is a bartending journal.
Oh, look at the dogs. Sorry. The guys know I love dogs.
And...
That's beautiful.
Yeah, the bartending journal. Let's see if it has the... This is dated the 13th of July, 1983. I know that you think that I'm only about 25, but it's not true.
She's
so
26.
This was at D.B. Kaplan's, which was a swinging place. I gotta tell you, the hipsters hung out there in the late 70s, early 80s. Yeah,
I want to take a picture of that. It's beautiful.
And I was a bartender, and there was a bartending log where we'd put, we ran out of Jameson's Irish whiskey, or I don't know, something like that, and we started putting too many. I notice my staff is listening to me as I'm talking now, so enjoy
stories.
We were putting too many silly things.
Silly things.
Yes, and a manager wrote in there that we could no longer have so much frivolity.
Oh, right.
In the bartending log, so we did this says underground official bar log, and
oh my goodness.
yeah, and this was so that we could draw naked pictures of all the people who were regulars who we did not like at the bar. And chapter 1 is let the frivolity commence. And so there are some pictures of waiters and if you were looking at this, you would
be
see
dying.
naughty jokes and
I
things
love
like that.
But yeah, you guys can't see it.
I just want to point out, let's see if we can do this. This guy right here with the tie.
That's your boss.
This is an actual
Oh my God.
photograph of him in the paper.
Not bad.
So you can see, yeah.
You've clearly studied
Yeah.
the anatomy and
Yes.
figured
Yep,
good estimations.
Yep, I have X-ray vision. And
sorry.
so it was my way to draw people mostly naked in my drawings, as you've seen there. And then, well, I have some other examples. I then became a graphic artist.
Oh gosh, was that handmade? Did you make that?
Yeah, no, I did not. And this one's interesting because, let me just get it right side up. Let me take it apart here for a moment.
Oh.
You see the beautiful binding on that. That's like a medieval bookbinding technique. It had a beautiful paper cover on it, and my dog ate the cover off this. And it's prophetic because the person who gave this to me, the book artist who gave this to me, said, yeah, I'm giving this to you because so many times I give these blank books to people and they never fill them up. Mm. They're too precious for them to use. And here I filled mine up, and you can see it's full. And my dog ate the cover off it, so that was really getting used. So I had another book artist in San Francisco, so this was made in Minneapolis, another book artist in San Francisco make this sleeve for the book to fit into to protect it. And this one got coffee spilled all over it.
But it makes it look beautiful.
On the floor of my car. So one tip I always have for people who are contemplating having journals is get really good bindings because they take a beating if you have them around with you. So this one also, let's see if I can.
Really good.
Yeah.
Oh, St. Patty's Day one is lovely.
So this one has, I'm just trying to find a nice example here. Okay. Because this is, you can see other people making entries. So this.
Oh, wow, yeah.
This is, well, here we go. This feather right there was drawn by Anne Bancroft, the polar explorer.
Love her.
And this was written by one of her teammates that went on her first Antarctic expedition. I also have
treasure.
Yeah, I also have stuff written in here. Oh, this was when Gorbachev visited the Twin Cities, and so this has a bunch of.
I remember that. Oh my God, that was such a big deal.
Writing there. I think I thought. Oh yeah. Oh, yeah, we blessed the book with flags from former USSR. But I also, I mentioned that my mom had mental illness. And this is my mom writing in here. She was in the psych ward when she wrote that. And if you read it, it's crazy. Doesn't make any sense because she was crazy.
The formulas in there. So.
Yeah, the formulas are
lithium, right? Is that what she's taking?
She's no longer living.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay. She died at the ripe old age of 86. So, but. She was crazy, but had it together enough to write the chemistry equation for why her psych meds were poisonous to her. So
that's legitimate.
Yeah. So here you can see the formulas right there. Here's an example of some just fun, frolicking, naked people who ate hot dogs and were watching TV and are farting.
Ew.
And I realized that...
That's really fun, actually.
Yeah, it's a typical Saturday night at my house. It's Fatso and Flatcho are the names of those characters. Then I started teaching grade school, and I realized that I couldn't show these pictures to
parents do get freaked out.
Yeah, to my second and third graders. So then I started notebooks that were that anyone could look at, and there are these blue notebooks. I'll pull them out now. All these blue notebooks, and they're my public professional notebooks. And so this is the first one. They're volumes, yeah.
Which is an option, guys, too, if you're worried, oh my gosh, You didn't do precious pages.
And this has...
Oh, those grasshoppers.
I'm just trying to think. I thought that this one had actual stuff that might... Yeah, this one. These were my students at the time, had started writing in there. And then it started turning into notebooks of when I was learning. I'm just showing you random examples of, these are like, would be the equivalent of college notes. These were when I was in professional development, week-long graduate seminars, learning stuff for my work with teachers. And so I started, really using these as kind of a personal textbook for myself.
Yeah.
And so this is volume 1. Volume 0 was stolen at a bar.
Oh.
Yeah.
Turkeys.
And as you flip through those last ones, you would have saw that aside from maybe 1 or 2 pages right at the very beginning, they were in black and white. And that this one, volume number 4,
has contents, a table of contents.
it has it. Yes, yep. There.
An option for you guys doing your title page. This could be another thing that you could do. I'm personally a big fan of it.
And I do a table of contents because I actually have to use these notebooks and find things in them. And I was tired of not being able to find things. And here you find this one.
Howard Hughes.
Starts out, where is... This is not exactly what I was looking for. I'm looking for this one, which, as you can see, got left on a plane right after 9/11.
Oh, no.
And I got it back. That was an exciting moment. Always have your contact information in your notebook so that you can get them back. But sometimes they get stolen and they don't come back anyway. This first one... If you can see right here on this first page, these are the first pages in color. And this coincides with when I fell in love.
Oh.
They went from black and white to color. That's really a true story.
That's fantastic.
So now these all...
May you always draw in color.
Yeah. And there was one thing...
That the City of Science one's really cool looking. Oh.
Yeah. So also, these keep me company at meetings that are really boring.
Truth.
And I was just looking for, so I'm going to use my table of contents to find this, otherwise it'll take me forever, is to find Psycho Products, which was the facetious company that I made up for when I was, I think they're more in this volume right here, for when I was feeling like a smart ass. Here's Psycho Products. 22. But I think 13, you'll enjoy 13 more. So I also added page numbers so that I could find things in here.
Oh.
These are Psycho Products right there. So you can see this is obfuscation seminars. This is vague aids. Calendars without dates, watches without hands. So this was just me being a smart ass. You can take a picture of that.
Excellent. There we go.
So they are a release for me. And there was one other notebook that I thought maybe you guys would like seeing, and that's my family journals.
Oh.
And these are in these... It has a leather cover, which is a little more durable than this one.
My Dobermans find them tasty, so
yeah.
back to
and
paper. Oh, watercolor paper.
So this is really beautiful, heavy paper and chronicles things from my family. And I'm just opening up to random kind of pages. Documents birthdays, funny stories, sketches of camping and stuff like that. And I was just wondering if there were any other fun pages in here. So, like this, I also, they're important to document history. This was when 9/11 happened. And when that notebook that you saw, that I was in Washington, D.C. just a couple days after it. So this is a sketch of the Pentagon while it still smelled of smoke. And so I also feel like these journals capture history,
So you have the first one, right?
both personal history and the history of our times. So that's a tour through now. Abby, ask me any questions you want.
Okay. I actually had a student ask about smaller journals. What sizes do you recommend? Because for me, I always work tiny. I like what I can stick in my purse. But some people they feel they need to do really huge ones. What is your personal preference or recommendation?
My recommendation is have journals that suit your needs for carrying them and your needs for how big you work or how small you work. I work at a small scale. I've always kind of worked at a small scale, and I like to have them in my pocket. So you can see these guys are really pretty small. These are the biggest journals that I've kept, and they still fit in a bag. So other recommendations, if they're going to travel around with you and get beat on, have them be really good binding and stuff like that. These are great. These kind of Grumbacher, these kinds of things are for shit. They'll fall apart. And I have ones that are so fragile they don't travel anymore.
Oh, wow.
The spiral bounds covers come off them, and they're just kind of a hazard.
I usually have the tail that goes spinning out and attacking people.
These guys, which are not really art notebooks, but they're for surveyors. These were my motorcycle journals.
No way!
So,
oh my god!
And these are organized by the mileage on my odometer.
Oh, that is cool.
And they're pretty indestructible. So these guys rode in tank bags on my motorcycle and probably have
gasoline. What kind of motorcycle? No, I have to ask.
1973 BMW R75/5. And somewhere in here there's a picture of one, but it would take me too long to find it on the fly.
Where did you travel to?
All over. In fact, sometimes there's maps here of places I went. I've crossed from San Francisco to New York a couple times. When I lived here, I went around the Great Lakes, all of the Great Lakes many times. Went down the Mississippi River, went down the Appalachian, on the Blue Ridge Parkway, the Southwest. So a lot of cross-country motorcycling.
Now, in these ones, you have a lot of things attached. What's your recommendation for materials, how people attach? Oh, nice. Yay.
Here's a photograph just taped in there.
We'll lose that.
Yeah, that's okay. That was just at the beginning. I have a lot of things taped in and tucked in.
Is that though? That's
Georgia O'Keeffe.
Did you meet her?
No,
no, it's a
no,
postcard.
It's just a
it
postcard.
It looks like an old photo. It's nice.
I think that over time that when you tape and use adhesives and stuff like that, they're going to break down.
Yeah.
But I also believe in not letting perfection be the enemy of the good. So I want to get things in here. So I've mounted them in, and I even have a little pocket that I mounted in here with little cards and stuff like that. So, but I think these are the only ones that I really started taping things in, and I realized that lots of times the postcards were better than any picture that I would take. So I just get postcards and put them in there. So that's
mentioning the perfection. I think that's another thing to bring up too. Is I noticed when people get journals, they may have one or two really good pages, and they have pages kind of flawed. And this is great concern of perfection. I know that a lot of students now, especially, they're very intent on doing beautiful, beautiful work. How do you relieve the pressure? Like, how do you just keep making? Or have you ever come up to that? Like, were you afraid to muck up
sure,
a page?
but I don't worry about that so much in my journals because there's enough pages that I love.
Yeah.
That the pages that I don't, oh well, that's okay. And it helps to have other people write in them because then that kind of encourages this. Don't worry about what it looks like. And if I have a page that's unpleasing, I just start a next page. But the more I do it, the more I understand the layout of the page, and like if I'm taking notes.
Those are fantastic.
Where you can probably see a rhythm here that there's kind of two columns here, and there are often drawings that are just peppered in there. So I kind of know how the layout of this format works, and I like this format, almost square. Again, you see a couple of columns in here, so I kind of know how this format works. They don't make this notebook anymore, and I just found these, which are pretty good and way better paper. And this is Kunst and Papier. It's down at the bottom. This is great paper. I started a new one of these
I was going to say, on your travels.
about 6 months ago, and it got, I believe, stolen at a conference in Chicago. And I was, fortunately, it didn't have maybe more than 15 or 20 pages in it, like maybe about that much. But it's just like so this is a second one that's gotten stolen, and it just stabs you like a knife in the heart. So
It's
and
the most
it had
unwanted compliment.
and I have my, all my information in it, but now what I'm doing, I haven't completed this yet, but I have this envelope and card in it that's going to get taped in there, and this is going to be like, please return this, and I'm going to put a $20 bill in here.
Oh, wow.
And I'm hoping that might entice someone to, the $20 is more important than the notebook, please return it. So we'll see if that
Wow, that's a good idea.
If that happens, so that'll just be mounted in the notebook.
Did you do any drawings and stuff from your New Zealand trip? Or was that in the journal?
I did, but I don't have it here. But I did get a
yes, I want to see this.
a
Oh
Moco
my
tattoo.
gosh.
I don't know if you can see that in the camera.
It's gorgeous.
And this was
Wow.
so I want to be very clear. I didn't just go get a Moco tattoo. I spent time with Maori people. I did a lot of talking to Native people here about what was a good way to do it. Why was I interested in Moco? And I was interested in it because Moco is about attaching your ancestors and your family to your person through this permanent tattoo marking and the shedding of blood. And I have family in New Zealand, and so my Moco is about my family. So this is me. This is my partner. These are my parents. Over here, it's hard for me to do this upside down.
Oh, no.
My brother, my grandparents.
I'm actually impressed.
And my nieces and nephew, and my sister. And my sister died in 2003 in New Zealand, and my nieces and nephews live there. So this is about, the motivation was about my nieces and nephew and my sister, and worked with the Moco artist to design this, and spent a week with Moco people, with Maori people, before I was ready, shall we say, to have this done. So I don't have my drawings from New Zealand here, but I have someone's drawing on me,
which I think is even more. I'm a big fan of tattoos, guys, but you're not supposed to do that. But you're adults, you can decide. I'm not your mom, but do it. I have a giant one. But yes, any final advice you want to give the students about visual journals? What would you recommend to them? These are young artists and designers. Beginning of life, the one thing I always recommend to students is write everything down. I could come up with art pieces in a heartbeat when I was in my 20s and my 30s. It's not clicking as fast as it used to. I find that very frustrating. Is there other advice that you give?
Don't let perfection be the enemy of the good. Practice, 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 because as you do that, it will wire your brain to do more. So the more you do it, the easier it will be, the more creative you'll be, the different connections that you'll be able to do to make connections to other areas of art or your life or other artistic pursuits, whether it's music, whether it's dance, whether it's writing fiction or poetry or whatever, that the more that you do it, the more you'll be able to do it.
I agree. Liesl, thank you so much.
Yeah,
this is fantastic.
Yeah.
So,
cheers.
Yay.
Oh, cheers.
Whoa, very important.
We're
I'm
having
Scott.
coffee.
Coffee.
Okay. Adios.
See ya. You can reach